far. Imagine being ganged up on like this by your husband and your 12-year-old son. Her husband, Mike, constantly accuses her of lying and cheating.
I'm not stupid. I know what's going on.
I told my husband a white lie.
Once I found out she lied to me, I knew I couldn't trust her.
Have you cheated on him since y'all got married?
No.
Why did you lie to my family all these years?
About what?
About everything.
People lie, particularly white lies, sometimes to escape all of the hell that you're raining down on her.
Not lying. I never cheated on you.
Mike hired a detective to give me a polygraph test. I took the test and I passed it.
How many men have you caught her with?
Oh, I haven't caught her with any men.
None. Do you spy on her from the woods?
From my garage.
What'd you see through the window?
Her trying to find if the house was bugged still and pulling out furniture and stuff.
I'd tear that sumbitch down to the studs if I were you.
The doctor said I had chlamydia.
When I went to the doctor, my results were clean.
I know Cindy gave it to me.
So you went to the doctor. You were never diagnosed with chlamydia.
Not by paperwork. I took this doctor's word.
You gave us the note. Why would you give me a bogus note?
He told me I had it 100%.
I agreed to do this story for one reason. It's because y'all have a child that I think is really caught in the middle of some real chaos here.
Mike has fake attempted suicide twice. The first time, he held a rifle in his mouth. The second time, Mike grabbed a bottle of pills and pretended to take the whole bottle in front of our son.
What the hell were you thinking? Wow. And you did it to test whether she cared about you.
Yes, sir.
And what'd you learn?
She didn't.
Oh my God.
Do you think you're alienating your son from his mother?
I don't keep my son from his mother. That's his choice. No, he doesn't want her back.
He has told his kids so many things.
I have told my kids. Let's go back to the lie about the party, Cindy.
Nothing a 10-year-old.
Why? Wait a minute. No. Why would you drag out that little lie about a party for 3 weeks and I go to jail because I give up my own marijuana because that one week of taping you told me my whole life story.
Mike sent us some audio recordings of conversations he's had with his son.
You got it too, buddy. The doctor's excuse Daddy got proves that I got treated for a disease. Oh, the best move I ever made, buddy.
Are you telling me you're not coming home saying, we got her now, buddy? Daddy did it. I got it.
Yes, he wanted to know.
Your conduct with your son is nothing short of abusive. Did you tell your son, I don't know if I'm really your biological father?
He overheard it.
Did you feel that was appropriate?
Oh, no, that hurt me. I broke down. That killed me that I would have to put that kid through this over something like this.
Have you showed your son video of you guys arguing?
No, not that I'm aware of. He may have seen it going on the computer or anything, but I didn't just bring up a video.
I can't help the situation.
No, I can't remember just sitting down and showing him a video of what was going on. He saw us videotaping around the house.
Well, he stars in a lot of them. You have told him that you trick his mother, right?
Yes.
Do you tell your son about money problems?
He hears it. It don't have to just go directly to him. He hears it.
Did he grow up believing that his dad would kill his mother?
Yes, he did.
How did you get that idea?
By her saying these accusations in front of him on the phone all these years I was out working.
If I was on the phone with someone and I was telling them, yeah, if I did that, Mike would kill me. He overheard me.
But what do you think a kid takes out of that when he's a little kid and he hears it all his life to this age, Cindy? What do you think a kid will take from that?
And say, your dad's
you have
gonna
no
kill
idea.
Me.
And this is all turning on me. You have no idea. You have no idea.
What do you mean this is all turning on you?
This is the manipulation I've lived with all my life and blame myself.
Yeah. How do you think this interview's going?
Not good right now.
What would you say is wrong with this interview?
What's wrong with this interview is I'm angry, and it's what I showed the last 2 years.
Do you think that she and I are conspiring against you?
No, sir. No, I don't believe that. That's why I came to you. I want to hear it from your face.
Yeah, well, I got plenty to say. So how does their son Stephen feel about all this? Has Mike completely alienated Cindy away from her child? I would actually like to speak to this young man. He's here. He's in the green room. He hasn't been hearing any of this, of course, because unlike his father, I don't think you involve children in adult issues. So I've had him sitting back there, but I am very, very troubled by hearing this child scream at his mother. And so I would like to go back and chat with him for a minute. Do I have your permission to do so? Do I have your permission to do so? Okay, Bones, let's remove Cindy from stage. You can just take her right back there because I just don't want Mike yelling at her while I'm gone. I'm going to go back and chat with him, and you'll be able to see that because we're going to swing this plasma around so you can see this, and all of you in the audience are going to have the opportunity to see it as well. I just didn't want to bring him out here because I don't think you do that with children. Certainly in this situation. I'm going to go back and chat with him, and then after that, I'm going to come back out and tell you what I think needs to happen in this situation, okay? So I'll head back.
Mike has brainwashed my son, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Ma, I caught you manipulating me a couple times lately, and I've been getting pissed about it.
Our son doesn't buy Cindy's lies. He's caught on just like I have.
Mike and Cindy admit to putting their 12-year-old son right in the middle of their fights. Right now, their son is living with Mike and refuses to talk to Cindy. Take a look.
Our 12-year-old son is caught in the middle of all of our marital problems.
Don't you push it on me.
Push that down.
See what she's putting this kid through?
Mike has brainwashed my son, and there's nothing I can do about it.
You're telling him I around on you, Michael. It's not
I got a disease. There ain't no other way.
My son knows about the cheating, the STD, the gambling, the money situation. He knows just about everything. I have been so honest with my son because I believe my son should know. Our son doesn't buy Cindy's lies. He's caught on just like I have.
Ma, I caught you manipulating me a couple times lately, and I've been getting pissed about it.
Mike, put that camera down.
Yeah, because you don't want to show your true self because you're scared.
My mom was a manipulative liar. I trusted her when I was younger, but as I got older, I started catching on to her. My mom needs to confess to all she's done.
Mike's had our 12-year-old son spy on me. He has asked our son to follow me around. He's also asked him to see who I'm talking to on the phone. My son's called me a bitch, a liar, manipulator, all the things that my husband's called me. I'm totally devastated with my relationship with my son right now. I haven't spoken to him in over 5 weeks.
I know you're a freaking liar! Leave!
I don't want my mom in my life. My mom texts me, "Love you, hope I get to talk to you soon." But I don't reply. That makes me mad because I don't want to talk to her. I want my son to know that I love him and miss him so much. And this mom didn't do these things. I just want him to trust and believe me too.
Well, I'm glad to get to meet you. I've been out in another room talking to your folks, but we're talking about adult things out there, so I didn't think it was appropriate to have you there, being as you're 12, right?
Yeah.
So you're right now living with your dad, right?
Yeah.
How's that working for you?
It's working perfectly
okay?
fine.
Getting along all right?
Yeah.
How's your relationship with your mom?
Me and my mom used to be really close, but now I'm really mad at her.
Mm-hmm. What about?
She left over money.
She left over money?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She said that she was going to take out her pension money to help us, and then she left.
You know a lot about this.
Yeah, I've been filled in on everything practically.
Yeah, who fills you in?
My dad, because I've been drug into it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But
how did it start?
It started over my mom lying about a party.
Up until a couple of years ago, you and your mom were very close. right? You said
Yeah, me and
you got
my
along
mom were
really
very
well.
close.
You loved her a lot and all. Do you love her
Yeah.
now?
I just lost a lot of respect for her.
You've gotten really upset with your mom and kind of yelled at her and all, right?
Yeah, I have gotten mad at my mom. And
Take a look at this piece of tape. You're in it.
Sign your freaking paper and leave!
Put that camera
No,
down,
you agreed to this.
The camera-
You told me and him you would sign these papers.
What paper?
You-
What do you
you
think I have
already
you
said it.
fill it out? You said it. And I'm starting to
Quit.
get a headache from yelling at you.
Okay, then quit
So
yelling.
leave!
What do you think about that as you see yourself doing that?
I think that she needed to leave because she was causing a major problem.
And how was she doing that?
She would just keep arguing. Me and my mom and my dad weren't getting anywhere.
Okay.
It just never would have gotten solved if she wouldn't have left.
Okay, we have another tape here.
I know you're a freaking liar! Leave! Leave!
Get out of our lives. We want you gone. We're tired of the turmoil. Get out of here. Get out. We want you gone.
Mom, get out!
You're seeing yourself screaming at your mother. Does that seem wrong to you in any way?
It
or does
does.
it seem justified because she wouldn't leave?
It does in a way, but she would never quit arguing.
Do you worry about money?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you worry most about?
About losing my house.
What do you think would happen if y'all lost your house?
We'd lose everything.
That's pretty scary for a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You've seen your dad yelling and screaming at your mom and being really upset. Does that bother you?
It bothers me that my mom gets defensive because my dad starts out talking, and then my mom starts raising her voice and getting defensive and holding up her arms and knocking things out of my dad's hands. And it just gets me really mad.
At your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's he so upset with her about, besides the party?
Marital problems and
what?
money. My mom cheated on him and gave him an STD.
And how do you know that?
My dad had a STD because I saw there were files of it. And apparently, from what I've heard, a doctor gave my mom a fake name. And Walgreens keeps calling the house, telling her to pick up her medicine.
I just want to tell you a couple things that I'd like you to think about.
All right.
First off, your mother and your father both love you very much.
I know that.
And sometimes adults see things differently. One will think A is true and the other will think B is true, and sometimes they'll clash and get upset with each other, and that's just what people do in relationships. Sometimes they have differences of opinion. And I want you to understand that none of that's your fault.
I understand that.
It's really not. I mean, none of that's your fault. And I'm making every effort to try to get that situation calmed down. And I know you're getting along with your dad right now and not your mom. And I think I'm going to try to talk your dad into handling some things differently. But don't ever doubt that he loves you very, very much. And your mother loves you just as much. And I want you to kind of be the hero in this situation and really try to get back together in that relationship with your mother, because sometimes people have opinions, but things aren't always the way they seem. And I think your mom may be getting a little bit of a bum rap here, and I think your dad may be having a lot of frustration here, but they both mean well and they both love you very, very much, and you're very blessed to have two parents that care so much about you. Listen, I'm really proud to meet you.
Thanks. I am too.
You're a good-looking kid and you're plenty smart, so
Thanks.
hopefully we can calm things down at home for you, okay?
All right, thanks.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
What would make you happy today is if she confessed. You said you want a confession so you can start fresh.
I would love a confession out of this girl.
Well, I'm back with Cindy and her husband, Mike. I have just come from the green room where I spoke to their delightful son. You watched the conversation, right?
Sure.
I wanted to hear what he had to say. And you see, the problem with kids getting pulled into adult issues is, remember I said I've got 2 rules?
Yes,
One, you never ask him to deal with adult issues. He says, I'm afraid we're going broke, we're going to lose our house,
Yes.
we're going to lose everything, we're going to be on the street. I said, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? And he said, yeah, so that scares me. I'm worried about it. So here we have a 12-year-old child that has no ability to affect the outcome, but is worried that his whole world is going to collapse and fall down around him. That is beyond inappropriate burden to put on a child.
Correct.
I then heard him recite to me everything you believe about his mother. And he said he saw documents and files on this chlamydia, that we've got this STD. I've seen the files on it. It's there. We've got it. You know, she hid it. She lied. She used a fake name. They're calling up over there trying to deliver medicine to treat her, and she lied, and she won't leave.
No, we're not
and she
saying
won't
all that.
sign the papers. That's what he said.
Yes. But he didn't see the files. I didn't show him that
That's
paperwork.
what
right.
he
yes,
said.
But I didn't show him them paperwork. If
That's
he saw it.
what
Correct.
he
I heard
said.
that.
Which,
correct.
and we tell
Yes.
you, perception is reality.
Correct. I understand that.
Your attitude, I believe, is if you say something long enough and loud enough, it becomes the truth. But I'm not affected that way. I don't care
understand
how
that.
long you say it or how loud you say it. You either have the science to back it up or you don't, and you don't. He doesn't know that, but I do. And you didn't hear me saying critical about you, correct?
No, I
I'm
didn't.
very careful when I talk to children. And I want him to rekindle his relationship with you. And I said, I think your mother's getting a bum rap here. I think everything is the way it seems. But the problem with kids is they only know what you tell them. And you see things through your filter, and you believe it to be true, so you present it as the truth. He trusts you, so he treats it as the truth. If what he hears from you is what a no-good, lying, cheating, manipulating, selfish person his mother is there any other way for him to feel? And the answer is no, and that's parental alienation, and that is bad. So I hate that that's where we are with him. What do you want to see happen in this family, in this situation, in your relationship with Mike?
Dr. Phill, I love my husband, but we cannot continue to go through with the way things have been going. It can't stay like this. It has to stop. We need to get some help.
In spite of everything he's said and done, you still say you love him. And these
still do
money
love my
problems,
husband. Yes.
are you a gambler?
I was. I never was before this period.
Okay, but now you started being, how much money have you lost?
Oh, I've lost probably 70, 80 grand on the boat. I've even banned myself from the boat.
Okay, so you've blown through 70 or 80 grand, which is a lot of money for you, right?
Yes, sir. A lot of money.
So now you're broke
Yes, sir.
because of you,
Yes.
because of your gambling.
Yes, sir.
And what you were screaming at her, and her son was screaming at her to do, was to sign the papers to cash in your pension plan.
No.
Is that right?
He wanted me to cash in my pension plan, but I don't even know what those papers
No. The
were
paperwork we
But he does
no.
want you to sign, he does want you to cash in your
Yes, sir.
pension plan.
there. Yes, sir.
Because he was saying, Mom won't help us, we need this. And he
Right.
told me back there
Right.
that we were going to use that money, and now we're going to lose our house because of her. Right? Does he know that you lost the family's nest egg on gambling?
Yes. He's heard all this fighting going on in the house.
He didn't
He's heard
mention
it all.
that.
He's heard it all.
Despite the fact that he's lost the family money, despite the fact that he is stalking you and accusing you and yelling at you and screaming at you and alienating your son,
Yes, I do still love my husband, but he has some serious problems going on that I think he needs help with.
okay, and what would you like to see happen here?
Well, I wanted my family back, but to sit here and listen to this, because I know my life. I know my life. And you're going to do this to me,
What did I do to
my
you?
kid.
This was all your
The
call
father
coming
I've been,
here.
the husband I've been all my life, and you're going to do this.
Okay, talk to me for a second.
Okay.
What is it she's doing?
She's turning this and manipulating the whole situation is what she's doing. She's turning this on me. She's still lying. She's not owning up to what she has done all her life. She is not owning up to what she is, how she has treated my son and I all our lives. She's not doing it.
What would make you happy today is if she confessed. You said you want a confession so you can start fresh.
I would love a confession out of this girl. I've been waiting all my life for her to open up.
And what is it you would like her to confess?
I want
Write it
her
out
to
for me in your
confess
head
right now of who you've been with. I want to know who you slept with.
Like,
I want to
haven't
know
slept
who you were with that
anyone.
October night. We were camping. My son and I were camping. I want to
wasn't
know.
with anyone, Michael.
And if you can't,
I
if you
wasn't
can't
with
prove,
anyone.
if
I
you
can't
finally
tell
be
you
true to
enough.
your heart,
I
your own
have
heart
been
first.
true. You just don't believe
I
me or
can't-
trust me, Mike.
I can't
I'm
go
not
any farther
lying
here,
to
Cindy.
you,
I love you
Mike.
more than anything in this world, and I would do anything. I would forget all of this. I would
have
be there
nothing
for
to
you. I
tell
would be
you,
your
Michael.
strength. I've tried to be your strength
I would not
all
have
your
let
life,
this
and you have
gone
done
on
nothing but
if I
bash
cheated
me.
on you. I would have told you a long time ago. Instead of going through this with our
You
family.
did the same thing about the lie. You went on and on
Oh
and
my
on
God,
about the lie. Why was that little lie so important?
No,
Because it covered up something
It
so
didn't. I was
major,
gone and went
Cindy.
somewhere for 2 hours.
Cindy, baby.
Mike, I'm not lying to you. I
Cindy.
cannot make you believe me.
No, you can't
I have
make.
tried
You can't make. You
everything.
can't. I know my life. I
and
know
you
what I've
just
lived.
don't believe
I
me.
know what I've lived.
Okay. I want to talk to Mike for a few minutes here, and here's what I want you to do. Robin, would you please come up and get Cindy and have her come back there and sit with you for a minute? Just hang on. Robin will come and get you here. Do you know my wife, Robin?
I do.
Yeah.
How are you?
This is my wife. Mike, this is my wife, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Nice to meet you.
I just want her to sit back there with. I do not believe that your wife is cheating on you. I think the last thing she wants in her life is another man. With Robin. Tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now.
I'm feeling just used all my life, just crushed. I've been an animal these 2 years. I've been somebody I haven't been all this my life.
Yeah. Well, I wanted your wife to step away for a minute. I want to send you to step away because I want to talk to you undistracted.
Okay.
Whenever they alerted me that some guy was showing up at all the gates with boxes of evidence and he had driven halfway across the country as opposed to the mail or whatever, I have a rule. Being on television every day, I have to maintain boundaries. And anytime anybody crosses one of those boundaries, they show up at my home or they go back through everything and try to find some way to find me in my private life. That seals their fate. I mean, they think they go around the machine and get to me, and they show up something taped to the gate at my house or something like that. That person, there's one thing they know for sure: they will never sit before me, because that just crosses boundaries. And you driving out here and doing all of that, I said, no way, I'm talking to this guy. Not going to happen. He's crossed the boundaries. And then I saw the tape of your son. And I said, well, you know what? The son didn't cross the boundaries, and he's the one that's suffering here more than anybody else. So I said, I'll do this story. I'll talk to you. I'll sit down and talk to you. But you remember, before I did, I even required them to have you write me a letter.
Yes, sir.
Because I had a sense how this was going to go. And here's the letter that I had Mike write to me before I agreed to see him. I would like to express my feelings on what I hope Dr. Phill can do for my family. That is to hear our story, tell me what he thinks our problems are, and get us the right help for my son, Cindy, and I. Tell me if what I am accusing Cindy of is all in my head, and help me understand what I need to do to be a better father and husband. If my accusations are true, help me understand who and what I'm dealing with, so I do the right things to give my family a healthy life. I understand Dr. Phill cannot fix our problems himself. However, he can give me the tools to do so. I know he will tell it like it is and guide our family in the right direction. I'm aware that I will be hearing things I may not like. However, that will not be the case. I will take his word like the man I am and learn from this. Thank you and your staff for your concerns for my family. Sincerely, Mike. I wanted an anchor before I agreed to sit down with someone that I think has a tendency to explain things away. First off, I want you to understand that even if you are 100% right in everything that you say about your wife, your obsessive behaviors and reactions are 100% wrong.
I understand that.
It's disproportionate, which tells me you've lost perspective. So if somebody here is creating a problem, it's you.
Okay.
Now, having said that, I do not believe, and I'm a pretty good judge of these things, I do not believe that your wife is cheating on you. I think the last thing she wants in her life is another man.
Unbelievable.
I'm just telling you, I don't believe, that's just my professional opinion. And you're saying unbelievable, unbelievable. Well, then don't believe it.
No, I understand.
That's okay, but no. I'm telling you,
okay.
I do not believe that your wife is being unfaithful to you. I think you have become consumed by this.
I did.
I think you've lost focus on your life. And I think that it has gotten to the point that it is delusional. I don't think you need her to be perfect to be happy, but you've convinced yourself that you have to have a confession from her on something in order for you to move on. And that is just not true. What I'm interested in is what's really motivating this, because it is not her telling you about a party a couple days later than she could have. That is not what's triggered this. It's not that she's cheating with somebody, because she isn't. You should be saying, then what the hell has got me so upset here? Because I don't care what you guys say, there's a part of you that thinks he's kind of a nice guy. There's a part of you that thinks he's kind of charming. Yes, no, there is. What I fear I create, you are destroying the family you think you are fighting so hard to maintain. You are the problem. Just think about that. If it's not her, if it has nothing to do with her, what could get you so out of control?
I know.
Because we agreed that your reaction is even if it's true, your reaction is wrong, correct?
Yes.
So what is it about you that you're having such a terrible reaction? People get divorces every day and don't go through all of this.
This girl is ready to walk out of my life in 12 days when I taped her, okay? She was ready to walk out of my life with my son like she did when I was younger.
Okay, now answer my question.
Okay, I don't want to
now
be
answer
without
my question.
son.
If it's not her, what is it about you that would make this happen?
If you say it's in my head, evidently.
Well, but what about it? I mean, have you had trauma in your life? Have you been
this traumatized me?
Before
before this, no, I have not.
You were just peachy.
No, I feel like I've been one hell of a man, one happy man. I wake up happy, I go to bed happy.
Listen, seriously, I get that is a part of who he is. Because I don't care what you guys say, there's a part of you that thinks he's kind of a nice guy. There's a part of you that thinks he's kind of charming. Yes, no, there is. There is a part of him that I'll bet you, if he gets past this, you have the ability to be a good egg. You got an ability to be a good egg. But I'm going to tell you what I think's going on, okay?
Yes,
and
sir.
you can poo-poo it and decide that I'm in on it with the doctor and that I'm a quack and all of that, or maybe I'm not really a doctor, I just play one on TV. But there's something called a personality disorder that's a cluster. A personality disorder is an enduring pattern of inner experience. That's important because this comes from the outside in. You're not reacting to the world. It's inner experience. It's pervasive. It's inflexible. And it starts in early adulthood. It's stable over time, and it leads to distress. Now, we're talking about something that comes from the inside out, meaning you're not reacting to something. It came from the inside out. And one of the things in that cluster is paranoid personality disorder. Number one, suspects without sufficient basis that others are exploiting, harming, or deceiving him or her. Number two, preoccupied with unjustified doubts about the loyalty and trustworthiness of friends or associates. Number three, reluctant to confide in others because of an unwarranted fear that they could use information against him. 4, reads hidden, demeaning, threatening meanings into benign remarks or events. Persistently bears grudges. 6, perceives attacks on his or her character or reputation are not apparent to others. 7, has recurrent suspicions without justification regarding fidelity of spouse or sexual partner. You're about 6.5 out of 7.
I don't see any of these things being a real part of my life other than these last 2 years. I just don't see it.
You believe what you're saying. I don't think you're making it up. I think you are 100% convinced of the things you say.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible that something has happened that's caused you to view the world through a filter that distorts it for you?
Oh, anything's possible. Anything's possible. I've always believed in that. Anything's possible. It's never too late. That's just my beliefs.
And if I'm right, this would be on my short list of considerations.
Okay.
And if that's true, and you got treated for this, even if you did it preventatively, like your chlamydia, then maybe all of a sudden you would start to see things differently. Is it possible that you could do some work on yourself and change the way you perceive things? Because if you perceive what you believe what you're saying, I don't think you're making it up. I think you are 100% convinced of the things you say.
Yes, sir.
I think you are convinced that what you're doing with your son is proper and appropriate. I think you believe it all to be true.
Yes, sir.
But if it's not, and you could change your point of view, it would really give you what I think is your one and only chance to do 2 things. Keep this marriage together, and 2, you would have an opportunity to preserve a relationship with and access to your son. Because if you don't change what you're doing, she's going to be gone and he's going to be gone. As our gift here to you, I am prepared to bring you extensive, thorough, multifaceted diagnostic workups and evaluations from which will flow appropriate treatment for you as an individual and you as a couple and a family, as my gift to you.
Okay.
And I think you need some help and support as a woman, and I want to provide that for you. So you're going to have a lot of work to do, just like he is.
Okay.
This isn't all about him. Now, when I say I'm going to get you some help, the first thing I want to do is fly you to Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
I want you to go to the P&P Center, which is one of the leading diagnostic and treatment centers in the country. They're going to evaluate you neurologically, biochemically, psychologically, hormonally. They're going to look at every aspect of who you are. Okay. This is our gift,
Thank you.
really, to your son.
Thank you so much.
Fair enough?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Deal? Recently, my wife Robin announced the first program from her new foundation, When Georgia Smiled, the Robin McGraw Revelation Foundation. Now, it is called the Aspire Initiative, and it is very exciting. It's an interactive educational program that is designed to stop domestic violence.
It's free and it is available in both English and Spanish. And it's designed for 3 different age groups, each with its own custom curriculum: tweens, teens, and young adults, and for adults.
Now look, this can be used individually in the privacy of your own home, or it can be facilitated by an instructor like a school teacher or a counselor or a youth education director in a church. Now, it's broken into 3 parts. The real deal on abuse, where it is all defined and explained. Then it's stop it before it starts, which is the prevention section.
And last and most importantly, take action, where I teach you how to exit an abusive relationship safely and how to stay safe once you are out. This curriculum is filled with quizzes to test your knowledge of the difference between love and abuse. And I also teach you how to recognize the excuses abusers give to keep you in the relationship. This is a fraction of the wonderful content Aspire has to offer. And don't forget, it's free. You can find it at my foundation website, which is www.whengeorgiasmiled.org. And of course, you can also find it at drphill.com.
And Robin and her team have also designed a new app. And let me tell you, this is so cool. This is for your smartphone. It's called the Aspire News app. And it's been built for the smartphone, and it's a major development in domestic violence safety. It's the first of its kind, never been done before.
The Aspire News app is disguised as an everyday app, so if your abuser takes your phone from you, it won't stick out. It has a function that I call the go button that you can activate the moment you are in danger. Once activated, it will send a pre-typed or pre-recorded audio message to multiple trusted, pre-selected contacts or even 911 saying that you are in trouble. Once the go button is activated, your phone will also start recording audio of everything that is going on in the room. So now you have actual audio evidence of threats or abuse. So be sure and leave on your phone's location service, because many of the functions in this app you'll need, including locating the nearest shelters. There are also articles on domestic violence.
Thank you very much. All right. All of you parents out there, I want you to imagine that you've been married for 20 wonderful years. Then one day you wake up and everything seems to have changed. Your perception is that your entire family has turned on you. Your entire family has deserted you. You lose your spouse, your home, and most tragically, your children. Now, the children you raised, now all of a sudden, they don't even want to speak to you. They don't want to see you. And you just keep asking yourself, what have I done to deserve this? Well, Sarah says this is her story. Take a look.
Mark and I were married for 23 years. We raised 3 wonderful children together. I was the full-time mother. We were one big happy family. After being happily married for about 19 years, the marriage started to fall apart. My children turned on me. My husband turned on me as well. The children became very disrespectful, rude, and condescending. I was abused by my children. One of my sons called me a piece of... We don't talk that way. I would tell my children to do something and Mark would say, oh, you don't have to do that. Mark started making me out to be a bad person, that I was crazy, that I was irrational. I was so devastated. I felt horrible. They became monsters. They were nothing that I taught them. Manners, civility, respect, kindness.
I told her I love you, but I can't live with you anymore, and we need to move forward to get a divorce.
After the divorce, my children treated me like I was a disease. I was a plague. They wouldn't have anything to do with me. Over the course of 5 years, I have sent them about 1,500 emails and left 1,500 voicemails. My children have never returned an email and never returned a voicemail. There's no doubt in my mind that my ex-husband, Mark, has brainwashed our children against me.
So Sarah decided to take matters into her own hands. In fact, she has made it her mission, her crusade, to not only reunite with her own children, but she says help families everywhere.
My ex-husband, Mark, has used parental alienation strategies to teach my children to hate me, when in actuality, I'm their loving mother. Life without my children feels empty. It's horrible. I was so upset and frustrated that I decided to do something about it. I've created what I call a campaign to bring awareness to parental alienation and then help resolve it. I have some speaking engagements coming up, and my master plan is I'd like to get the money to hire a lobbyist. This is definitely my passion. On average, I'd say I spend about 12 hours a day working on this, at least. It makes me very angry to feel that I'm a victim of parental alienation, but it also empowers me so I can help my children as well as millions of other children.
Okay, Sarah, I'm glad to meet you. I'm sorry for the circumstances. I wish we were talking about a happier situation with your family, but you feel that your husband has brainwashed your children and turned them against you, correct?
Correct. It's an indoctrination.
Do you think he did this consciously and purposely, that he set out to alienate them from you?
He set out to make me to look like I was crazy or a person that I'm not. It's called strategies, and they
No, wait a minute. Don't give me a 101 on parental alienation syndrome. I want to know your experience. I want to talk about your situation.
Well, in my situation, I didn't understand. So I went to therapy, and they said, yes, this is what happens. Children's minds can be brainwashed, and I went through therapy to understand what happened to me and my children.
Okay, and at this point, you have how many children?
I have 3.
Okay, and you have no contact with any of them at all right now?
Well, I was advised to always keep in touch, email, let them know none of this was their fault, that I don't blame them, that I love them, that I'm here for them. We had beautiful relationships until the parental alienation started, and I reiterate this.
How long has it been since you've seen your children?
Over 5 years. No, I would like to talk about moving forward with my children. I'm a wonderful person, and I'm a kind mother.
Let's hear what Sarah's ex-husband, Mark, has to say.
Okay.
We had a pretty good marriage for the first 19 years. Just as we got to the 19th year, the dynamics during the marriage changed. Sarah became completely irrational and illogical. Sarah started more and more to get angry about things that made no sense. She became very unhappy. She would spend about 3 to 4 hours a night literally raking me about everything that I did wrong. Sarah, I believe, absolutely was abusing both myself and the children. She would yell out and she would claim that I was stupid and ignorant. I always thought that Sarah would snap out of it, and eventually I couldn't live with that anymore, so I needed to get divorced. Sarah's told me that she was going to destroy me and that she was going to win.
Well, Mark says that he had no choice but to take some drastic measures.
Sarah has attempted to make my life a living hell. If you don't agree with her, you're bad. It's as simple as that. She was writing emails telling me I was evil, I was a parental alienator, that I committed all sorts of frauds, and I believe the record one day was 21 emails.
I emailed my ex-husband Mark in a reasonable manner. I was peaceful, just like Gandhi and Martin Luther King talk about. I wanted to understand why my kids didn't want to see me.
The kids forwarded an email that their mother sent. The gist of that email was that she said that Osama bin Laden had been brought to justice, and the very next sentence said that a horrible person in their lives she was hoping to bring to justice as well.
I was not threatening him in any way. If there's some threat that he perceived something of a threat, he should have brought it to me. I don't have that behavior. I don't threaten people. I'm more collaborative.
I went to the police. I was extremely fearful of what it meant for my life. Ultimately, there was a restraining order issued to Sarah.
I feel like Mark got the restraining order so he could further align the children with him. Mark has tried to make me out to be crazy, unreasonable, and someone they should fear.
I am extremely concerned about what Sarah might do, and I have been told by professionals that I should be afraid of what she might do.
Tell me why you want to be here today.
I'd like to be here because I'm hopeful that somehow my ex-wife, Sarah, can figure out that I'm not an alienating parent, and also that, you know, the possibility of her somehow having some relationship with her children depends on changes that she's going to need to understand.
You want that relationship for her to have with
I've encouraged it all along. She doesn't understand it.
Mark has remarried, and his new wife is here. She, too, has a restraining order against Sarah, separate from her husband. We're going to meet her next. Plus, one of Sarah's children was, in fact, willing to come here today. What they remember of their childhood when we come back.
It's extremely important for Sarah to understand that I did not take our children away from her. That her actions, her statements, are the ones that drove the kids away from her.
I am the enemy in my children's eyes. In all honesty, I'm their savior.
Well, Sarah is convinced that her ex-husband, Mark, is alienating her from her children. The once happy couple have not had any contact in nearly a year because he has a restraining order against her, which she says is unwarranted. And Mark isn't the only one with a restraining order against Sarah. His new wife, Phill, says she lives in fear of this 100-pound woman.
Sarah threatened me, calling me a high-priced call girl. I was spending her money. Mark stole from her. After being married to Mark for about a month, I got an email from Sarah. The first email was, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to email you, so I won't contact you again." And I said, "Thank you." And after that, emails just kept going, escalating, getting worse. Over the course of 3 months, I must have received 100 emails.
The emails from Sarah were incredibly ugly.
If Phill felt threatened, she should have told me. She must be a pretty weak person. I'm trying to help.
I felt violated. The only option was to get a restraining order.
When I found out from Phill there was a restraining order, I was like disgusted. I was like, not these games again. What's next? They're looking to alienate me.
I am afraid of Sarah. When someone's that unstable and that angry, you just don't know what they're capable of.
Did you call her a high-priced call girl?
I don't recall. I know my therapist, when you say...
no, I'm asking you. Did you call her a high-priced call girl?
I don't recall.
I have a copy of an email here dated Friday, February 27th, and the subject line, it's from you, Sarah, to you, Phill, and the subject line is, "Are you any different than a high-priced call girl or a mistress who knowingly does wrong things and hurts innocent people for money? Have a nice weekend pretending to be someone you are not."
Okay, that could have very well been.
Well,
because I was going through therapy. Okay.
I mean,
you know, when my therapist, when I came to them and I said, this is going on, they're the ones that told me this is parental alienation.
On May 17th, you wrote to her, "You are a consenting adult and you do not have the Stockholm Syndrome. Do you plan on continuing to listen to Mark's lies? You could possibly find yourself in a situation where you will be unable to tell the judge that you were unaware of what was going on. I need to end this parental alienation, and my money, which I rightfully deserve, will help address some of the issues."
Right.
Does he have money that is yours?
That's what I've been told professionally, and I had to I was also told professionally to contact the IRS, so I couldn't be an accomplice. And I had to do that to protect myself. I was told professionally. Contact the IRS, so
well, let's get back to the alienation here.
Okay.
How did he do it?
Well, all right, let me make it very simple.
they lie, and this is what they do.
Not
They're
they.
delusional.
I'm asking
Okay,
you he. You keep talking about they.
Because
I
they
want to know
all
about
fit
he.
a pattern.
No, I don't want to hear about the pattern.
okay.
I want to know about what's
Mark
happened in
lies,
your case.
He's delusional, and he doesn't say it like it is. I am not anybody to fear or hate. I did what Gandhi and Martin Luther King do, and I use passive resistance. I use the emails to send to them to try and communicate, to say it's in the children's best interest to have both loving parents in their life. I'm a loving parent. I'm
My
trying
question
to use...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. My question was, what has he done to alienate your children from you?
He's filed restraining orders. He's told lies about me. He's told...
What has he lied about you? What did he say that was a lie about you?
He said that I'm dangerous, like when my son called me a piece of shit and I threw the water at him. He said, children, run to your room. She's going to attack you. He's not going to attack you. I've never attacked anybody in my life.
And what do you say about that?
Things.
I did not say that at all. Actually, one of the children went and called the police because of what she threw at him. And so he made the choice. He called the police.
He's known to lie. He lies on tax returns. He lies in other ways. That's his disposition. He lies that I'm dangerous. This is what they do. I don't want to play this blame game. I'm a really good person. I do a lot of good things.
Listen, I'm going to conduct an interview here, and I'm sorry if you don't like the questions. This is a he said, she said, and I'm trying to find out if, in fact, there is change-worthy behavior on one or both sides. Now, you're either lying or you're telling the truth.
I'm telling 100% the truth.
Like the tax returns.
I have
Let's take a break. Only one of Sarah's children was willing to come today and face their mother. Two of them did not refuse. They adamantly refused. They said absolutely not. How do you feel about that? I was able to get one of them here, but not the other two.
Just like the Middle East, what Carrie is doing, they've been indoctrinated to hate and fear.
I don't want to talk about Gandhi and Martin Luther King in the Middle East. I want to talk about your children here. Trying to stay focused here. Just trying to stay focused on your family and your children. We're going to hear from your child when we come back.
Good. Oh, what's
I have cut off all communication with my mom and not spoken with her in over 4 years. I'm about to sit down with her face to face, and I am nervous. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm ready to even see her again. I don't know if I want to see her right now.
Sarah has made a lot of claims over the last few years that I've paid off a lot of people. Sarah has been banned from a Jewish temple, and she's claiming that I paid the rabbi off. That's completely false. I absolutely believe that if the Dr. Phill show does not go the way that Sarah wants it to go, that she will make the claim that I paid Dr. Phill off.
Hey. Sarah is furious with her ex-husband, Mark. She believes that he is guilty of alienating their children from her with the help of his new wife, Mikkel.
Wait, excuse me, I'm not furious. As it was told by me, he's very sick and needs help. He's not a bad person, he's sick and needs help. I'm not furious.
All right, Sarah is very concerned about Sarah is very concerned about the mental illness that her husband may be suffering from that would make it okay with him to alienate children from their own mother. And let me tell you, if that's going on, it is a horrible, horrible thing to do that will come back and bite you in the end. Mark, I'm telling you, I guarantee you, if this is coming from you and you are falsely accusing him, then that's going to come back to bite you. And understand,
experts
since you're
have validated it. Experts told me that this
well,
is what
here's
was
an
going
expert
on.
telling you the jury's still out. And children can become alienated from a parent by the acts of the spouse or they can become alienated from the parent by the acts of that parent. And I don't think there's any doubt that these children are alienated from you. That, I think, we can all agree on. We invited all three of Mark and Sarah's children to be here today. Her sons absolutely refused to have anything to do with their mother. They wouldn't discuss it. They were non-negotiable, said it's not happening. Only Julie, their 22-year-old daughter, agreed to share the stage with Sarah. She says in no way has her father alienated her from her mother. Take a look.
My mom has left me hundreds of voicemails, sent me hundreds of emails.
I still email my children and I call them regularly.
You can either understand the truth or live a lie.
I have no idea if they're getting them, but as a good parent, you're supposed to prepare your children for the future, and this is what I try and do.
She'll address them too. These are my wonderful but mentally abused children with parental alienation syndrome, telling me I'm sick, like how long am I gonna let my father control me? I need to learn to stand up to my dad, like 5-6 pages long, just ranting. They were just all of her complaints.
I'm trying to be a voice of reason, but one thing I do not do is I do not badmouth their father. I talk in general terms. This is parental alienation. I have said, based on what professionals have told me, he's not a bad person, he's a sick person and needs help.
I've just completely ignored her.
It makes me feel horrible that I don't have communication with my daughter.
I truly believe that if she saw all my brothers and I, and we started talking to her, she'd stop her website. Like, she wouldn't continue doing it to help millions of children. And I know that for a fact.
Julie, come on out. Good to meet you. How are you?
Oh my God, you look so different. Oh my God.
Have a seat right there.
Oh my God.
Julie, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Tell me why you want to be here today.
Well, I came here because I know something needs to change. She has no accountability for anything she's ever done to hurt me.
What have I done that's hurtful? I have only sent loving emails. What have I done?
You're saying that this parental alienation, like I've had issues with you, and I've told you since they got really bad at 6th grade, and that's why do you think I went to boarding school?
Okay, no, you went to boarding school because you were bored at the school where you were, and your father and I thought it was
This
great.
would be a great time to listen.
Do you not remember, like, before I went to boarding school, we used to fight all the time.
Oh, mothers and daughters don't fight?
No, it's not normal for me to not be able to have a conversation with you.
So you're saying you're happy without me?
Yes.
There's a rabbi. You said Mark paid the rabbi off.
Something's going on with that.
Pastor Rick Warren, that Mark paid him
Rick
off.
Warren, you wouldn't get involved.
If you bought this boy off, you must have a lot of money. Now, I read every word that you said as we talked to you, your letters, your pre-interview, and I have put together what I think is your point of view in a timeline about how things went. You said, and these are quotes, I'm sorry that y'all have to kind of turn around a little bit.
Is you okay? Yeah.
There's a real big one right here.
Oh,
right here.
Okay.
Well, I thought you might want to stay by Julie's. You told us that from 85 to 08, that you guys had a wonderful marriage, that you gave examples, which I thought were great examples. That's why I keep asking you for personal examples. You said you and the kids would cook and bake, and
and knit. Julie's a good knitter.
Kids knit. You think I didn't do my homework? Kids knit, and you were a stay-at-home mom, and you said that you actually got loving emails from your kids at boarding school.
I do.
So, like, if you're just such a just unconscionable bitch, why would you get loving emails from your kids? Then in 2008, that's when you say that this parental alienation started.
That's correct.
You said that Mark is narcissistic just like your father. Your kids, it's like overnight became monsters and mimic their father's behavior.
That's correct.
Okay? And you blame a lot of people for not intervening, not helping, not acting here.
I don't blame a lot of people.
Well, let's see. You said Mark brainwashed the kids.
Yes.
You said Mikkel's silence means supportive of parental alienation. You said the kids ganged up on you, that they're little versions of Mark.
That's correct.
You said the judge wanted to shut you up when you were complaining about a therapist and that Mark paid him off.
Yeah.
There was a unification therapist. You said that therapist was crooked and Mark paid the therapist
off. No, the therapist didn't practice safe haven therapy. I got this from my therapist.
Did you tell us that this was a crooked therapist and Mark paid him off?
Something happened in there, yeah.
There was a rabbi. You said Mark paid the rabbi
Something's
off.
going on with that, and I haven't gotten to the bottom of that. But yeah, there's something going on in there.
Okay, and Pastor Rick Warren, that Mark paid him
Rick
off.
Rick Warren, I said, could you stand as a therapist and mediate?
Okay.
And he wouldn't get involved.
Okay,
I'm just saying the facts. I'm not saying bad.
Right.
I didn't say he paid him off.
No, yes, you did say he paid him off. You told us that he paid him off.
There's something going on. There's something going on.
I'm sorry, Julie, what?
He sends me messages
Something's
saying
going on.
Dad pays off all these
Something's
people.
going on. Unless
No, I'm talking to Julie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She just sends me messages saying, like, my dad pays off all these people. Like, anyone who disagrees with her, my dad has to pay him.
I wouldn't, given certainly the tax allegations, I'm not going to discuss your income, but I do know, I
don't have an IRS problem at all.
I know the pastor, he's a friend, and if you bought this boy off, you must have a lot of money. I'm saying he's got a lot of money.
Why won't he talk about parental alienation?
It's not
and
his
just give us
problem.
sermons?
You do blame a lot of people.
I don't blame anybody. I'm taking the proactive approach, and I don't blame anybody. I'm stating the facts. I was a loving mother, did everything I can.
Sarah, I said that the fuel that moves this train is insight.
Okay.
What ownership do you have in this problem, and what could you do to inspire an open mind on her part?
What I could do would be to continue to love you.
But it never was good before. You don't.
Wait a minute. I was a full-time mom, and you did really well, and we have all these
just
pictures
because
of
I
you
did well
happy.
doesn't mean you hurt me. Didn't hurt me.
Well, then let's go to therapy and talk about it.
We've done that, and you fire the therapist when they don't agree with you.
Wait a minute. I never fired any therapist, and I get along fine. That was a strategy. We went to so many different therapists because my ex would say, I don't like this one. I'd say, I could try another one. I like this one. And then they turn it on you. This is what they do. Well, then you pick a therapist that is very reputable.
How about I pick
We'll go to
one?
that one.
There is a whole lot more to this timeline. I am just getting started. We'll be right back. All right. Sarah and Mark's kids are alienated from their mother. Who is to blame is really the question. Now, one of those children is here, Julie, and she is here to talk to her mother for the first time in nearly 5 years. You have to understand that some of what you're doing is not working. You say, I don't blame anybody. You blame everybody. I mean, now let's take a look at this. Julie, help me out.
Okay.
This is Sarah's point of view about what happened. Now, you say that this was wonderful, that the kids baked and cooked and knitted and all of that, and I think that that was a big part of this family's life. I think it was wonderful. But it wasn't perfect, because Julie says that she was so stressed out that she was actually cutting between the ages of 8 and 11. You started...
Third grade through fifth grade.
Third grade through fifth grade. You started cutting yourself. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know that till right now.
I didn't tell anyone.
I'm sorry that you didn't know that till now, but I'm telling you That is a high-stress situation, and you were doing it why?
For relief. Well, I didn't know why, but looking back, it was always like when my mom would yell at me for stupid reasons. Like, I felt like I could never do anything right. So like I always tried to follow rules, so I couldn't just say, oh, I'm gonna behave today and I won't get in trouble. Because no matter what I did, she'd always be yelling at me. So I would run up to my bathroom and cry every day and lock myself in my bathroom. When I was in there sometimes, I'd take like nail clippers in the sharp part. I didn't like try and kill myself and cut my wrist, but I would like cut my arms, like give myself bruises because I didn't know what to do to like I felt like I could never make her happy. She was always yelling at me no matter what, and I did it for relief.
Look at all the photographs. They don't show this.
I didn't know.
Well, it's not something I'm proud of. I want to share. Like, why do I need to tell you I'm doing it? You're the one hurting me.
Move forward.
When you can't move forward without you recognizing you have some things to work on as well.
And what did I do that bothered you so much?
A lot of things.
Okay, well then let's
Okay,
address
let me,
it. I will.
Julie, let me help
address
you
it.
answer that question because we ask you these questions. And the point that this is where the insight comes in, Sarah, Mark, I want you guys to understand because you're saying 85 to 08, everything was hunky-dory, and in 08, that's when the parent alienation started. That's that they were wonderful, perfect relationships until then.
And
Not
like-
perfect, but certainly
overnight,
healthy
yes.
relationships.
I agree.
But the truth is that she reports long before you ever accuse him of doing anything wrong. She's telling you that back in from 3rd to the 5th grade, she is cutting herself. People cut themselves to escape pain, to feel something, to relieve anxiety. Julie says mom is telling her that she is fat and antagonize
At
her.
age 13, you were calling me fat to my face. You'd come up to me, pinch my stomach. You'd give me glares every time I eat. And you'd just be so rude to me about it.
I don't do those
Yes,
things.
you do.
That's not my pattern
Yes, you
of
did.
behavior.
But she remembers, understand, reality is perception. You have described yourself as an alienation expert.
You did it
so
to me
you
too.
have got to show some insight here.
I don't do those things.
You did it to me too.
I don't do
Yes,
those.
you did. We watch you, and that's why we have problems with you, because you never remember anything you do wrong.
I don't remember. I have a very
Well,
good
try and
memory.
remember.
I don't behave this way.
Okay, it's really important that you hear what she's saying. And it doesn't mean you have to agree with it.
Okay, well, I think if we begin again, you will see I'm not that way.
Begin again without
And you
cheating.
have to begin again, and if we go through therapy and we can start, you will see I'm not that
Well-
way.
You really don't want to hear any of this, do you?
I think it needs to be heard with a therapist because this is delusional.
You're saying my
You're going to hear the rest of this.
Okay.
There, you throw hot water at your son, he calls the
She's done it
cops.
to me too in the car.
I'm just
She's thrown her hot tea on me. She just gets angry, throws it back on me.
I don't even.
You've done that.
I don't even recall. I
the whole
drive.
issue. You don't recall anything
I don't.
you do.
This is delusional. I don't.
You have no
do-
accountability for
How
anything
can I
you
drive
do?
and throw?
you really don't want to hear any of this, do you?
I think it needs to be heard with a therapist because this is delusional.
You're saying my boy.
You're saying the boys.
Let's get
You're
somebody
saying
out
the
here that knows
boys.
what the hell they're doing.
No, you were saying the boys. My boys. That's what I'm saying. You said the boys.
It's not their issue. It's your issue.
Okay, go ahead.
Sarah, you say that during this time, after the parental alienation started, that across this 5-year period, you send 1,500 emails and calls. The kids visit you, leave early. You go to Mark's house and throw a rock at the window and spray the house with a hose.
No, I was coming by and they wouldn't let me in. and I couldn't get their attention. So the hose was out there, so I turned the hose on, and they were there, and I sprayed the window. And then, you know the little pebbles?
Pea gravel.
Yeah, the pea gravel. And I threw that to get their attention. That's all it was.
You had our attention for hours, stalking us around the house. Why did you need to be in the house? And then you threatened to pee on the doorstep if we don't let you in.
What?
Yes, you did.
I came to pick up something, and I wanted to use the bathroom. And I don't speak the word pee. That's not how I talk.
You said, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
I said, go to
on
the
bathroom.
bathroom.
Okay,
and I went to the neighbor's house. But that was what that was about, to get their attention. I don't throw things. That's not my behavior.
So we're talking hundreds and hundreds of emails.
If you don't talk to your children and you send them every couple days, is that so terrible when you don't talk to your children?
When they read what the emails say.
You did not produce emails or written documentation to us of Mark saying ugly things about you, but
because I want to move forward.
We do have emails where you have said, written to your children, it is immoral to lie and it is illegal to lie to the judge and submit false documents to the court. I'm doing so much better now that I am away from your father and all of his mind games and demeaning ways he treated me. Something is wrong with him. Your father is delusional. He makes up things because of his mental illness. I'm sure your father is telling you lies about me again. They ultimately got restraining orders against you.
They didn't get restraining orders.
I'm saying these two got restraining orders against you.
They got restraining orders against me for the emails, they said. Because I never went to their house or saw them or did anything. It was all the emails. I never had any physical contact with them. I don't do those things.
Well, I gave your point of view.
I was trying to write to them to try and help this situation, to get us to therapy, to get some help.
I've now given you their point of view.
Okay.
So now we have your point of view, we have their point of view.
Okay.
How do you feel about your dialogue with Julie today?
I feel that some things need to be gone over, and talked in more detail to get to more of the root of the problem. But also if she's talking about things that happened years ago and whatever, we're new people that we need to move forward.
That's right. We need to be new people today.
I've only gotten worse. You don't know me. I haven't seen you in 5 years.
Your voicemails, see some of your emails. You've gotten way worse. I think you need help. You need to realize Dad's not doing anything. You are the reason we don't talk to you because of things you've done, and we want to help you. That's why we're here.
Help, and my therapist advised me
do you hear? You're always quoting everybody from Gandhi to your therapist. Speak for yourself. Your daughter is here, and your daughter is saying,
"I'm giving you a chance to get help here on the show."
My plan for this family when we come back. What can we all agree on? What we can agree is that the children are alienated from you. Why is that unhealthy circumstance true? Is it because one of the two parents is toxic? I mean, has something happened here? Has the father brainwashed these children into thinking that you are a bad person and a bad influence and that they should stay away from you? There are tools that alienators use to do that. And the tools that they use to do that is they use persistent and unfound criticism, right? They just badmouth you. They talk about the other parent. They limit contact. They try to keep the other parent away. They erase the other parent from the child's life. They take down pictures. They say you can't talk about them. They force rejection. Say, no, you have to reject her or you're betraying me. They do that. They create fear. That person's crazy or they're going to do something bad to you. They're going to ruin your life. They force a choice. They come up and say, if you love me, you won't be with them. If you love them, you're not going to be with me. They isolate children from the extended family of the other person. There are all of these tools that parents can use to alienate. On the other hand, there are parents that can become toxic in their interaction patterns to the point that children back away from them. And I said the fuel that drives this whole train is insight. You have to be willing to step out of yourself and look and go, wow, what I'm doing is not working. Do you support your children having a free choice to have a relationship with their mother?
Absolutely. I support a free choice for them.
Do you believe that it would be healthy to have a good relationship with their mother?
If it's possible, it would be healthy.
Are you open to, under the right circumstances, to say, all right, this is a beginning point? Would you participate in that? Are you willing to acknowledge that there are things you're doing that are contributing to the distance from your children, and that you might want to take a new tact and try to build a relationship as a mother of an adult child?
That needs to be done.
So you're willing to
I
participate?
would love it. I've been trying to get them into therapy for 5 years. I love it.
Well, I've gotten this one to go.
Great.
And if that goes well,